Welcome to our sound and healing class. In order to change, people need to become aware of their sensations and the way that their bodies interact with the world around them. Physical awareness is the first step in releasing the tyranny of the past. Our goal is to bring mental, physical wellness to people who feel stressed, anxious, and depressed. This class will provide practical sound and movement techniques for healing. In time and with practice, you will learn how to lower your body's stress responses, create more energy, balance, and peaceful living. This class covers the effect of stress on our bodies and minds, why sound and movement heals, musical movement techniques for self-healing, and participation in a restorative yoga class and music session.
I am a professional yoga teacher, musician, and engineer. My mission is to inspire people to go inside themselves, connect with their inner playful child, as well as the divine, and help them reach their long-term physical and spiritual goals in the form of flexibility and calmness. I own my own yoga and music education studio, and I'm also the wellness coach for several corporate clients.
I am a professional musician, educator, and therapeutic harpist, as well as a mother of 3. For over 20 years, I have been working with children and adults in music education. Over the past 4 years, I have been on a journey to learn about mental wellness and the effects of trauma, stress, and anxiety on individuals and a holistic approach to health and recovery. We're now going to talk about the effects of stress and anxiety on our bodies and minds. Intense emotions activate the limbic system, in particular an area within called the amygdala. We depend on the amygdala to warn us of intense danger and activate the body's stress response. So emotions are physical. Feelings are physical sensations of motion and energies in our bodies. We all hold feelings in different places in our bodies. A tight chest, a shoulder, a neck, or a face. Living in chronic states of stress, fear, and anxiety trigger our bodies to create high levels of cortisol. Under normal circumstances, people react to threats with a temporary increase in their stress hormones. As soon as that stress is over, the hormones dissipate and the body returns to normal. The stress hormones of traumatized people or stressed out people, in contrast, take a lot longer to return to the baseline and spike quickly and dissipate slower. So in response to mildly stressful stimuli, our bodies tend to react. This effect of continually having higher stress hormones will include memory and attention problems, irritability, stress, and other disorders. They contribute to many long-lasting health issues, depending on which body system is more vulnerable in a particular individual. So what happens? Too much cortisol creates disease. It creates disease such as anxiety and depression, headaches, heart disorder, memory loss, digestion problem, and sleep issues. Living in a chronic state of stress, fear, worry, and anxiety in our culture is normal. Moreover, with movies and the news and social media, we seek out stimulation that will continue to re-trigger us and re-trigger higher cortisol levels. Some of us might even unknowingly be creating and craving stress, and we actually might find that we are addicted to living in a chronic state of stress. It is time to hit pause and reset our bodies. It is time to change. How do we change? Well, let's think about some healing techniques. How does sound and movement heal? All of life is sound. At the root of all power and motion, there is music rhythm, the playing of patterns and frequencies against the matrix of time. We know that every particular pattern and physical universe takes form in pitch, and the patterns and overtones of particular frequencies is singing. So before we make music, music makes us. Sound healing is an ancient practice. Music is one of the most powerful natural tools for healing, confidence, and resilience. Science praises music for its healing and soothing effects. Encountering music on a daily basis, even in simple manners such as chanting, singing, strumming, and striking, will bring healing. Let's talk about the neuroscience behind this. Our bodies are created for sound. We begin hearing from the womb. The first years of life allow us to understand speech patterns, and this is how we begin to learn. Instruments are able to influence the beta brain waves and patterns, those associated with anxiety and the stress and the flight and fight that we have in our bodies, the stress hormones. And they are able to calm down those hormones with certain frequencies. These frequencies are known as the alpha, theta, and delta brainwaves. Movement and breath work to bring our minds and bodies back into our bodies, allowing us to begin to emotionally regulate and allow uncomfortable and negative stress to pass us by without triggering our cortisol levels and spiking our stress response. So what are some musical techniques that we can have and use today? There are many musical techniques for sound healing, one of which is creating sound on an instrument for 20 minutes a day. Studies show that certain instruments and sound waves will lower stress, blood pressure, and anxiety after just 20 minutes. Today's instrument will be chanting and singing. We will be using the universal instrument of the human voice to bring awareness to our bodies and feel the vibrations of music in our bodies. So we will be sharing some chanting techniques. Using the human voice to chant and meditate is an ancient practice. The purpose is to investigate the present, to tame what we call the monkey mind, or the mind that follows everything and thinks about everything, the anxious mind, and transforms the body and mind into a tool that creates health and happiness.
For our chant, we use the Om sound. It represents the three states of physical being: wakefulness, deep sleep, and a state somewhere in between the two. The reason why we use the Om sound is because the energy that we create through the sound, through our bodies, creates reverence. We begin with our palms in prayer position. You can also think of this as just reverence for life, reverence for each other, reverence for ourselves. We begin with a deep inhale through the nose. Let's do that together. Inhale through the chest, the middle, and the belly. And we exhale through the nose. Now let's inhale all together for Om. Inhale. Om. Let's talk about some movement techniques. A truly effective yoga and mindfulness practice involves light stretches and steady breathing. Never push the body further than you're comfortable. Like life, the journey is in the goal. We don't want to live the entirety of our lives as quickly as possible in a race to the end. Rather, we want to pursue contentment and meaning. We want to slow down and explore, learn, love, and grow. If there's a pose that's difficult for you, try not to let it bother you and return to focusing on your breath. Celebrate this opportunity to learn during your life journey. In this 30-minute session, we will relax into breathing and stretching, culminating in a long, restorative savasana, or rest pose. Hello, thank you for coming. So I'd like to first thank you for taking the time during the middle of your day to come and sit with us. And I want to emphasize that I cannot see you, so I have no idea what you're doing there, but I hope whatever you're doing, that it is comfortable for you and you're not going beyond your range of motion. And that's the one thing we musicians tend to do, is we tend to overextend ourselves. So we want to create a safe space for us. And with that, we'll begin, as we do, in child's pose. We'll take our knees underneath and just extend our arms this way. There's a variation where you can take the arms behind you, which is nice too, but we really want to emphasize flexing the arms out like this. And as we're in this pose, I'd like you to take some deep belly breaths, so you can really feel the belly against the thighs. And then remain here just for a few breaths. And we want to pause and we want to hear what our breath is telling us. What is it telling you? As we feel that belly breath in our child's pose, we are allowing ourselves to feel. We are allowing ourselves to breathe. Staying in child's pose, we're going to raise our left arm up to the ceiling and look up at that. And we'll do what we call thread the needle. So we'll pass our arm, palm up to the other side. And look over the right arm, so underneath there. And we'll remain here for a couple of breaths. Notice the side stretch, especially the back. This is one thing that we can do to really open ourselves up. Coming out of threading the needle, we'll go to the other side. So we'll take our right arm up above and thread it through to the other side, just like this. And so now we're allowing our shoulders to open up. We'll remain here for one more breath. All right, fantastic. So coming out of child's pose, we're going to extend the arms, and go for the tabletop. So from tabletop, we're going to go knees, chest, and chin down to the floor. And if we could do a slight baby cobra, open, we call these heart openers. So we're going to open the front body, just like so, and relax, and breathe here. How about one more of those, huh? Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale down. Great, let's come back to tabletop, and we're gonna come to seated. So, oftentimes we're doing this action, or this action, or this action. And so we need to really do a lot of side twists to kind of open things up. So one of the things I like to do is take the right arm out to the side and just crawl the fingers over, and we'll reach the left arm up and over. Side bend. So let's breathe in here. Don't just fill the stomach and lungs with air, really feel the side. Feel that opening up. And again, you can go to your limit here. Just one more breath. Fantastic. Okay, well let's try the other side now. Raise the left arm. By the way, I don't mirror the poses, but if you choose to spend more time on one side, that's great. Please do. And let's just do one more breath here. We're stretching the right side body. All right, great. great job. Coming out of that, we're going to do just a little bit of neck rotation. Here's what we'll do. So we start with the chin level to the floor, and we're going to drop the chin to the chest. Okay, we do this a lot anyway when we're on our phones or computers. And then let's rotate our head to the side, drag the chin along the chest until we reach the shoulder. And now we will rotate up to the ceiling, bring our gaze across the ceiling to the other side, and look over the left shoulder. And then trace the chin along the front body, back down, and then we'll come to neutral. All right, great. Hey, let's try it on the other side. And this is why we're going slowly, because we don't want to be whipping our neck around. So, bringing our chin down to our chest, trace it across the left side, look over the left shoulder, gaze up to the ceiling. We're going to trace our gaze along the ceiling to the other side. And now we're going to be looking over the right shoulder, trace along the front body, and then bring our head back to neutral. Good job. The next thing we're going to do, let's try this out. So, I'll show you from the side. This is seated cat-cow, especially when you're sitting in an orchestra somewhere. If you're at a gig and you're just kind of getting a little antsy, or if things are starting to lock up, we start with opening the chest like this. Inhale. This is our cow. And then we're going to exhale, bring the shoulders to the front. This is our cat. Let's try a couple more. Inhale. Open up, another heart opener. Exhale. Just one more. Inhale. Exhale. Great job. And you can keep doing those if you wish. We're actually going to move on to some hand and wrist opening. For musicians, this is a very big deal. I like to start with just the simple hand clenches. I'm sure your teachers, or if you've been unlucky enough to be in PT, this is something we can do. We're just going to do both hands simultaneously. We'll just do opening and closing. Let's just do a couple more of those. We'll spread the fingers out wide, and then we'll close. Okay, great job. And we'll do this one hand at a time. Grab the right fingers, palm up, we'll do some wrist bending. Okay, same thing, palm down, wrist bending. There's variations where you can do this on the floor, but I find this is a lot less invasive or intrusive. Wrist down, this is one more of those. And wrist down, great job, shake that out. Let's do the left hand. So wrist up. Palm up, bring the palm down. Let's try that a couple more times. Palm up, stretch it, and palm down. By this time, you'll have gotten the kinks out. Let's go to the next one here, where we do a side-to-side motion. So we'll start with our right hand, palm flat. We'll just go to one side and the other side. And you can hold the arm too if this is getting a little uncomfortable. That's okay. Let's go really slowly here. Then we'll move to the other one. So left to right. The same plane. Just one more of those. Alright, fantastic. Let's shake that out. Now the wrist grip I really enjoy, because that's where we can just grab the wrist gently, of course, and we're going to just do a nice pulling action. I remember when I was doing martial arts, especially the Filipino martial arts of Eskrima, my teacher would have us do this and just massage the wrist, because there's a whole lot of wrist movement in that as well. Let's go to the left hand, left arm. Yeah. These grips are really good. You're getting all Coming to our shoulders, let's just grab our shoulders with our hands gently cupped. And we're going to just do this action where we start with our elbows in front. We're going to bring them up. Inhale. Exhale out to the sides. Inhale up. Exhale off to the sides. Let's just do a couple more. This feels really good, especially if you've been sitting all day. Inhale up. Exhale out to the side. Just one more of those. Inhale up. Exhale out to the sides. You might notice we're going a little fast. And these are just to give you an overview of what we can do. But I invite you to spend as much time as you need with each one of these poses. Totally fine. Let's move to the shoulder and shoulder grip, where we grab our elbow. We'll grab the right elbow with the right hand on the left shoulder. Just gently pull down the shoulder this way. If your hand slips off, that's totally fine. Just do one more of those. Give yourself a nice little massage. You've earned it. Okay, other side. So give yourself a pat on the back. Left hand, right shoulder. Cup the elbow. Let's go ahead and give yourself a little massage. Pull that down there. Just one more of those. Okay, now let's just do a little arm extension here. What we're going to do, it's like we're serving someone on a platter. And we're going to take both arms up. We're going to do just a nice little elbow bend. So see if we can just touch the shoulders like this way. You'd be amazed at such a simple action, and yet it really helps strengthen and extend the spine, because we're so used to slouching over our instruments and our keyboards and our phones. Let's try a few more of these, okay? So we're going to bend the elbows, touch the shoulders, and then return. All right, great job. Let's just shake that out a little bit. Okay, we're going to come to standing, and the reason why is this next one is we grab our right arm, we're going to bring it across the front body like so. Some people, for a real extreme stretch, will go to the wall and do that, and if you'd like to try that, you can do so. The way you do that is you go to the wall and just sort of grab the wall like so. Just rotate the body this way. So that's totally fine. Just hold that there for a minute. Inhale and exhale. Great. Okay, other side. So bring the arm up. Inhale. Exhale. Again, the wall's a nice extreme stretch, which is totally doable. Really feel the shoulder in this one. Just one more inhale here. Okay, moving on. Okay, let's shake that out. Okay, doing the same thing, we're going to go to the reverse. We're going to go to the back of the body, where we take our arm behind us this way. Just do a nice little twist. So it's a standing twist of sorts. But we're also just bringing our right arm around the front body this way. Inhale and exhale. Let's try the other side now. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Great job. Let's shake that out. Okay. We'll bring the arms up above us. And I invite you to really feel the stretch, because we're going to be doing something similar to this rather soon. You can bring the hands together this way, or the other way, the funny way. Arms up above our head. Inhale, exhale. And now we're going to bend to the side, one side, any side you want. I'm going to my right. And then we'll feel that side stretch once again. Inhale and exhale. It's different when you stand up. One more time, inhale, exhale. Let's do the other side now. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. And now we'll exhale. and to the left. Inhale here, and exhale. And one more time. Great, let's check this out. So we call this next one mountain pose. When we're in mountain, it's otherwise known as Tadasana. In the Ashtanga tradition, where I come from, it's the front toes touching, two big toes touching. But you can also have your stance more shoulder width. Okay, up to you. In mountain pose, we have a straight back, straight spine, and we have our arms for our sides. Really see if we can feel the extension. How do we do this? We start with our feet. So we're going to do one more thing here with our feet. And let's start by raising our big toes off the floor, just the big toes. Okay? You can take a look down. It's funny when you control your toes. It's like, we're used to playing our instruments, but when we have another appendage do something, it's a little funny. Okay? So let's relax the big toes and raise all four of the other toes off the floor, just like this. Try that again. Go back to big toes up, other toes down. Notice how I'm still breathing. That's really important. Big toes down, other toes up. Okay, now let's... Great way of finding all four corners of the feet is by raising all 10 toes off the ground. And then lower. One more time. Raise. Lower. So let's come to the top of our mats now. In mountain pose, we're going to find our mountain, and we're going to do a couple sun salutations. If you haven't ever done these before, these are a wonderful way of opening up your day, and you can even find a spot in your house or in your office where you can open these up. Okay, so we'll start in mountain pose, and then we'll find our mountain, grounding and pulling at the same time. Inhale, let's raise the arms up and look up. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. And if you can touch the floor, that's great, good for you. If you're like the rest of us, or you might want to touch your knees or your shins, that's totally fine too. Okay. And then we'll inhale, halfway lift up, and exhale. Let's step both legs back to plank pose. Now we'll lower down. We can use our knees. Come down to our chest. That's a lot of work. And our chin to the floor. And then we'll inhale for our baby cobra. Exhale. Hips up. We're going to go to our downward facing dog. So we're going to make a little triangle here. And we'll remain here. And we're going to breathe for a few breaths. Toes on the floor, spreading the way we did when we were doing our the last asana, and feel the spine lengthening. Okay, we're going to feel our toes on the floor just like this, and breathe. Now let's inhale, bend your legs, look at the top of the mat. Let's go to the top of the mat. Inhale, and then we'll exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms up, lift up. Back to mountain. Let's try that again. That's sun salutation A. So we'll inhale, top of the mat, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step back or jump back to plank pose. Exhale, lower down. You can do knee stretch in, or you can do what I'm doing. Chaturanga. We'll inhale for our back bend. Exhale to our downward facing dog. And then here we'll breathe. Just a few breaths. As you're doing this, I invite you to really find that length into the spine. And feel the feet gripping the floor. This is your chance to really stretch. We put our whole bodies into our instruments, our whole lives into our instruments. Let's really feel this stretch. Okay. Just remain here for a couple more breaths. when you're ready, let's inhale. Bend the knees and look forward to the top of the mat. And then step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rise up, look up. And now we're back to mountain pose. Good job. Okay, so now what we're going to do, as we've done our sun salutation, we're going to do one more and then we're going to come down to seated. So let's try this one more time. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back. And lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga down to the floor. Inhale for your back bend. Exhale to a downward facing dog. And again, this is another chance for us to breathe. Really stretch it out. And find your mountain pose in down dog. Okay. And when you're ready, let's bend forward to down dog and step to the front of the mat. But here, we'll just take a nice seat. And we'll come to what we call Dandasana, or staff pose. So in Dandasana, we have our legs out in front of us. It's almost like we're doing our downward facing dog, but we have our legs right in front of us. Bring the arms to the sides. Okay. And then we're going to do a couple more seated twists before our final Savasana meditation. Okay, so let's inhale and exhale here. You can feel the back body open up. Like this. Keep your neck neutral. Okay? Just one more breath here. Now from here, we're going to do our fire log pose. We're going to take our right knee, just bring it up to your sit bones, and then we'll fold our leg this way. If you can go all the way up to the foot in the hip crease, kind of like a half lotus, that's fine, but we don't really need to do that now. We're just going to do a half fire log where we sit like this. We're just going to be opening up the hips. Okay, so let's breathe here and feel that real nice extreme hip opener. If you want, again, you can go to a half lotus and maybe even bound half lotus if you want, not a requirement. Okay, one more breath here. Great job. Let's extend the leg out. Try the left leg. Bring that up to the sit bone. Cross over the ankle over to the knee. Open up that hip and let's just breathe here for a little bit. Great job. Okay, so let's shake that out. Okay, so we're going to come down just for a mini back bend, and I've always liked this one as it's kind of a part of the closing series. So we're going to ease our way down to the floor. And I'd like you to find the sacrum on the floor. And from here, what I'd like you to do is crawl the shoulders in towards one another. Okay? And now what we're going to do is, if you can raise the hips up off the floor, that's great. To whatever degree you can. So you can come up a little bit, maybe a little bit more than that. So just find the level to which you can raise the hips. So this is kind of where we might feel comfortable with this. Or if you have a block, you can put that under. And let's breathe here for a minute. So coming out of modified bridge, we can do a couple of other things too. And that would be happy baby. So we're going to come down, back down from our bridge pose. We'll find our happy baby. Just bend the knees in, give yourself a light hug. And then grab the outer part of the feet. And then we can just This is a wonderful hip opener too, where you can maybe rock back and forth or side to side. Okay, and let's just breathe here for a little bit. So I invite you to stay in your happy baby for a few breaths, and you can really feel the lower back. Just giving yourself a nice little massage on your yoga mat or on the floor. And then from here, what we'll do is we can try maybe lowering the legs this way. Okay, I invite you to really find that length again, once again, the lower back. And we're going to windshield wiper our knees side to side. So let's try that out. More of those. So inhale here, exhale here. Inhale, exhale. Left and the right. And if you want, you can also bring your arms out to a T or cactus your arms. Let's try it one more time where we take our legs over and maybe even bring our left leg over our right this way. And then look to the left. So remain here for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, bring the right leg over the left, and then look to the right. Just one more breath there. And I invite you to extend both legs long, raise your arms overhead, take an inhale, really reach, exhale, bring your arms to the side, extend both legs in front of you. And so here we can roll our legs out and extend them out, Shavasana, what you've all been waiting for. So spread the legs more than hip width and relax the outer feet, bring the arms to the floor, keeping away from the body with the palms stretched up. Now let's close the eyes, bring the chin down just a little bit, and let's relax the entire body by loosening it just completely. Just keep the eyes calm, the tongue wants to be relaxed and the jaw wants to be relaxed. Keep your mouth closed but your throat cleared as well. So now we're going to take a nice big inhale. This is the beginning of the process of clearing our mind. Let's take the mind slowly from the lower body to the upper body. Let's inhale and take the mind to the neck. From here, maybe the tongue, relax the tongue, relax the jaw. Think of your eyes drooping towards the back of your head like two stones in a pool. Let's move down the body. We'll go to relaxing the shoulders, the arms, the wrists, the fingertips. Let's move down to the body to the midsection. Relax your stomach. Relax your torso. And your hips. Feel the hips press down into the mat. As your legs roll out, complete relaxation. Sometimes our mind wanders a little bit. The mind does a lot. And That's in the Yoga Sutras. Yoga is the stilling of the mind. Chittavriti. So let's remember that we have space for ourselves, we have space for our breath. Like we started in child's pose. Have that dialogue with our inner child when we're first learning our instruments. And it's okay. And we just breathe. Slowly come back to the body. Let's wiggle the fingers, wiggle your toes. Turn your head lightly side to side. Inhale. Let's stretch the arms up overhead. Really tense everything up. Exhale. Let it all go. Let's bring the right arm up over our head and roll to the right side. And let your body relax there. Inhale and exhale. And let's slowly come up to seated. I'd like to meet you up here, wherever you are. And let's bring our palms to prayer position. Anjali Mudra, light bow to the head. Crystal and I would like to thank you all for practicing with us today. Let's give ourselves a nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale to Om. Om. To fully explore yoga, we must go inside ourselves. Sometimes that's a frightening thing, and sometimes it's revelatory. Either way, we have restorative harp music to accompany us every step of the way. Today we hope you learned about the effects of stress on our bodies and minds, why sound and movement heals, musical techniques for self-healing, and movement techniques for self-healing.
Thank you for coming to this class today, and thank you for sharing it with us. To find out more information about our classes, you can go to my website, which is bayareaharpacademy.com, or email me with any of your questions, which at crystalharp@gmail.com. Or you can contact Ricardo Silvestri. You can contact Ricardo at ricardoyoga.com, and his email is ricksilvestri@gmail.com.